Oh, that's up on my screen now. Okay guys, sorry for the delay. Hopefully I am live for you guys now. Certainly hope so.
For me.
Let me just throw a quick host to the channel.
Same.
Okay, so very sorry for the delay guys. This is Sparkster. I'm just going to give a quick reset and make sure I'm set up for the correct category quickly. So I am running easy mode of this game. There are three main difficulties to this game: easy, normal and hard. I would have offered normal mode, but I don't quite have enough time with a 20-minute estimate to manage that, so we're going to do easy instead. However, easy is a really optimized run, so hopefully this is still going to be enjoyable for you guys. So without further ado, I'm going to go in 3, 2, 1, go. So this is Sparkster. This game is really fast. The main method of getting around in this game is by using the boost attack. Anyone who has played the Rocket Knight games before is familiar with the boost attack. I even got the cutscene skip, very nice. So just 15 seconds into the game, we've got, a lot of movement going on, and we've got our first mini-boss coming up, which we chain rocket boosts and rolling attacks on to try and kill as quickly as possible. And a quick optimization that we try and do here, this spot that I'm standing in right now, we're going to boost directly upwards into the ship when the cutscene starts. If I keep the boost meter almost full, it prevents the boost bar from draining as the cutscene starts, so I get into the ship a lot quicker. And now we progress through the ship, and one of the main elements of the game we can quickly see, this game can be extremely laggy sometimes. One of the main elements of running this game is managing lag and reducing lag as much as possible. Since, as you see, when there's a lot of action going on the screen, especially whilst inflicting or taking damage, the game lags pretty hard. So we get through stage 1 fairly quickly and come up to the stage 1 boss. On easy difficulty, this is quite a simple affair, since the boss pretty much just stands there and lets you wail on him. On normal mode, I would be able to expect some eye lasers coming out, which I'd need to periodically avoid, mostly because on normal mode I would also have a lot less health. Halfway through the stage on easy mode, there's a health pickup that restores almost all my health. On normal mode it only restores 1 heart, which doesn't actually leave me with very much health once I reach the boss. But that's stage 1 clear, and we're going to be progressing to stage 2 just now. One thing we'll notice on the stage clear screen is that we get the clear bonus for each stage, and we also get the life bonus. The life bonus is one of the other main sources of optimization in this game, since the life bonus ticks up a score bonus based on your remaining health at the end of the stage, and the bonus is higher based on how much health you have remaining. So in order to go as fast as possible in this game, you actually want to finish each stage with as little life as possible. This isn't really possible on stage 1 due to getting the health pickup halfway through the stage, which restores almost all your health. You would think, oh, you can just damage boost a lot to lose all that health, right? Ideally, yes you can, although damage boosting is often done on bosses to kill them more quickly, and the stage 1 boss doesn't inflict very much damage on us. And we can't really damage boost elsewhere particularly quickly, because, as I said before, this game is also all about lag reduction, and one of the ways that you can cause the game to lag is by taking damage as well as inflicting it. So, although we want to take as much damage as possible, we need to find the spots where it is as least lag intensive to do so as possible, which quite often is during boss fights. So if you're just damage boosting willy-nilly through the stages, you'll find that you could actually lose as much time as you would save from a larger or from a smaller life bonus, simply because of the lag that's inflicted. So after a short auto-scroller segment, we boost straight across this gap for a shorter route, and we come to the mini-boss of stage 2. A very simple affair though, we just boost into him a few times. And the health that we've lost up to this point is so far irrelevant, since after this section, we're going to get dropped into a section which is going to give us another health refill. A small optimization that we do here, which isn't actually present in the tasks, since I don't think it was known at the time. If we remain in the middle of the screen here, rather than at the right hand side, we'll get dropped straight down into the next section. If you're on the right hand side, it actually bounces you up beforehand. And it seems like a very minor thing to optimize, it doesn't seem to matter very much. This category is extremely optimized. My PB/world record for this category is 13:05, and my sum of best for this category is 12:58. So between world record and sum of best there is a gap of 7 seconds. So the category is getting to the point where single second savers matter a lot. As often if you can save frames in certain spots, it really matters if you're able to do so. This section just before the stage 2 boss right here, another potentially lag-intensive section. These guys come from random directions and we want to clear them off the screen as fast as possible. If they end up inflicting damage or dropping bombs and causing extra animations, that causes a lot extra lag. So we come to the stage 2 boss here, which I mentioned damage boosting before. Let's do some damage boosting. One of the most efficient ways to deal damage in this game is with the rolling attack, going back and forth. But this game also has a mechanic called exhaustion, where if you rolling attack too much, i.e. 6 or 7 times in quick succession, Sparkster will get exhausted, where you'll just lose control of him for 3 or 4 seconds. If you take damage though, it actually resets the exhaustion counter, so as long as I'm damage boosting through a boss, I can damage boost and rolling attack through it infinitely. So now we come to stage 3, which is probably the most technical stage in the run. We need to do a lot of tight movement and some hopeful time savers with ricochets and with optimizing number of hits it takes to get through these laser gates. By rolling attacking into these laser gates, it typically takes 4 hits. I messed that up a lot. But if you manage to get a rocket boost in between each one, you can take it down to 3 hits for each laser door. And now by using carefully placed boosts and rooted rolling attacks, and by... Ooh, that was very nice. Those steam vents are RNG, so they can just randomly stop you. I know exactly how many rolling attacks I have there before I get exhausted as well, since I didn't take damage, so I use that to my advantage. And now by using careful positioning and some ricochets, I'm going upwards through these vents, but for this next one, I'll go diagonally. And then use some momentum transfer there, and another ricochet to get myself in perfect position there. And this straightaway here is a good way to demonstrate optimal movement in this game. So we try and boost everywhere, but using airborne boosting is more effective since this game actually transfers momentum between different movement states. As in, when you come out of a boost and you're airborne, you carry through that movement, that boost speed, into the helpless state while you're dropping a little. If you just do a grounded boost and just progress as normal, that speed rapidly drops off. So now with some damage boosting rolling attack, we get a pretty quick kill on this boss. All 3 phases of that boss were actually really quick, I must say. That was actually a good boss fight. The stage wasn't executed particularly well, but the boss fight was. And we get a fairly low health bonus as a result. The optimal health bonus to get is actually 0, but the only opportunity you have to get that is in stage 2 against the robot worm boss before. It's possible to die and then kill that boss with the robot bird that you're on, and if you do that, then the game just forgets that you're dead and plays the stage clear screen as normal, and you get a 0 health bonus, which is optimal. But it's the only opportunity you get to do that in the whole game. So let's change some more rolling attacks. I'm not sure if what I'm doing right now is faster by boosting into the corner. I'm only doing that because it gets the mini-boss off screen whilst he's exploding, and I personally believe that may save time on lag reduction. I don't know what that noise was, but it was very loud. So we quickly get through that drum section. That's actually really difficult to get through that section quickly, and there's a difficult jump here. Got it, nice. That jump is a lot tighter than it looks. You have a pretty short frame window to land that jump, honestly, and it saves a nice bit of time since it puts you in favourable cycles where those enemies are. And I even get through the cymbal section quickly as well. This stage is going by a lot faster than I can commentate, but trust me, there is a lot more going on in this stage than it seems. In that cymbal section there, if I'd fallen at any point, I'd land in those pipes, and they universally transport you backwards through the stage, which wastes a lot of time. So now we take the fastest route through this semi-maze section, and enter the stage 4 boss. So this is a really RNG intensive boss, although quite lately I've discovered what could be called a semi-manipulation for this boss. I want to see him get into the corner as quickly as possible. Not through that though. This attack I do not want to see. The flaming corkscrew attack he's using is horrible to see. I'm getting a really bad boss fight, and I'm also taking him in the air, which is not advised. That was an extremely messy boss fight, because he gave me some really awful RNG patterns, and getting him in the air there is definitely not preferred. So, the best way that you ideally want to deal with that boss is by hopefully baiting him into using a kick attack, which is both his weakest attack, and it makes him dive towards you, which gets him in the corner. Once he's in the corner, you can just hold left and keep rolling attacking left. You'll stay in place and you'll keep damaging him quickly. and you'll also keep damage boosting on him so you won't get exhausted, and then he'll hopefully never move and you can just keep chaining attacks as quickly as possible on him. It's the fastest way to get close to the task kill on that boss, which is getting him in the top corner and then hitting him first frame every time. So now we come across the last stage of the game, which is mostly auto-scroller, followed by another very RNG heavy boss at the end. But there's not much to this auto-scroller, so now is a good time for donations, which I believe, I've just been informed, did we receive one just there? Was that audio alert? If it was so, then do feel free to read it out. If I have anyone in here with me. If not, then I actually can't see it myself. I apologise, I don't have my OBS window up right now. However, whoever it was, thanks very much for the support. It's very much appreciated, helping support a great cause, and your donations are greatly appreciated. There are no donation incentives for this run, but we will be getting something little extra at the end of the run anyway. You'll see once we get to the end of the run. So even though there's nothing going on throughout this auto-scroller section, I just took damage on nothing. I'm unsure as of yet whether this is an emulation issue or if this exists in the original game, that throughout this auto-scroll section you can just take phantom hits from nothing in particular. Depending how many you get, it can make no difference or it can make a lot of difference. If I take 2 or fewer hits, like right now I've taken 1, if I take another and don't take any more, it doesn't matter, because once the mini-boss appears and I kill it, I'll get 2 hearts worth of recovery anyway, and I'll be able to enter the last boss with full health. If I take too many hits though, and don't enter the last boss with full health, that can be extremely dangerous. I should take a minute to explain how the final boss fight is going to work before I reach it, since I'm going to have to focus a lot on executing the strat once I get to the final boss. So once we reach the final boss, it is a, for lack of a better term, Rock'em Sock'em Robots duel in space. And that sounds cool. Like, it sounds cool, it looks cool. It is not cool at all to actually play, because the controls in the fight are very unwieldy and awkward. You would not believe how much you bounce around during the fight, and you would also not believe how weak your mech is compared to the boss's mech. The boss's mech is extremely beefy, and it's extremely accurate with its attacks and will deal damage to you far faster than you can deal damage to it. However, I've worked out a few strats to deal as much damage as quickly as possible, to the point where, when executed correctly, we can actually, hopefully now, damage race this boss, which, honestly, prior to me working out this strat, nobody even wanted to attempt damage racing this boss. People just considered it to be, oh, it's only safe to pin him in the corner, hopefully whittle his arms down and hope he doesn't go berserk on you, and render him helpless before going for him. But if we deal damage as efficiently as possible, it is actually semi-safe to damage race him. It's also a lot faster to damage safe him, so we're obviously going to go for that. The way that inflicting damage in this fight is going to work is that we can either jab or do a 1-2 punch. We can chain jabs with either left or right, and that will deal 5 damage each. But if I say whiff a left and then follow it up with a right, that's a 1-2 punch, which deals approximately 5 times the normal damage. So you're going to see me missing a lot of left jabs, and then quickly following them up with rights, and I'm just going to try and hit him with as many rights straight as possible. This is good. Good. He's gone berserk. That's exactly what I want to see at this point. Yes, that was extremely fast. Damn! That was a really fast boss kill, and I couldn't have asked for much more than that, and I even got a decent health bonus at the end. That was a close to optimal last boss fight. That was really fortunate. And time is when the screen goes black after the stage clears screen. So, time. My split key did not work. My split key's still not working. Damn good. Alright, that was approximately 1320. For some reason my split key was not working correctly, so we're gonna have to reset the split key there. 1320. Bearing in mind, like I say, my world record is 1305, so that was definitely a very healthy run. Now, as you can see, my estimate for this is 20 minutes. We've finished quite a bit under that, and this ending that we get put on at the end of easy mode is a little unsatisfying to say the least. So, what do you say we play the last stage of normal mode, which is the regular last stage of the game? I just so happen to have a save state at the end of that last stage, on normal mode, which is going to progress to the last stage of the game. So let's get a little extra content in here.
Ooh, bonus content.
Exactly. So normal mode starts with this missile hallway section, which showcases some of, in my opinion, the most impressive 3D graphics the SNES actually has to offer. These missiles look fantastic, if you ask me. And I'm deliberately ducking and hiding in these hallways because colliding with these missiles at any point is actually instant death. Like, if I stop ducking at any point, those missiles will immediately kill me in one hit. Nice, I skipped a cycle there. Ah! And exhaustion. Okay, we finally got to see exhaustion at least once in the run. So you can see that if you're going for optimization, it's really not preferable to hit that. You simply lose control for a good 3 seconds. Okay, decent kill on that mini-boss there. We're going to get shot upwards into this hallway. I need to side attack and then boost near the roof, which lets me miss that mech there. And now I need to pick up as much health as possible, because the mini-boss coming up here is easily one of the hardest parts of the run, and it requires efficient damage dealing and efficient damage boosting. I need to focus on this fight. Good start. Good start. I'm going to need to wait for this to come around. So ideally I wanted to get all 4 of those crystals down before it reached the background cycle. Whilst the crystals are in the background, I can't hit them. So if that last one reaches the background like it did, I just need to wait for it to come around before I can get it. But that was a really good mini-boss still. Not dying on that boss whilst trying to go quickly is extremely hard. So now we just make our way through this hallway. Oh, wow. Incorrect direction on that boost. And ideally we want to enter the last boss with maximum health, since this boss is, well, I've already messed that up. This last boss is really RNG intensive in terms of the attacks that he can use, and all his attacks hit pretty hard, so I want as much health as possible. Currently I'm 1 heart down, which means I'm -1 hits that I can take on him. I can survive 5 hits against him, and he's very RNG heavy with which attacks he uses. Some patterns are better than others, some patterns are a lot worse, so we're going to have to see what we get. So I want to manipulate his starting position. And now this is the only instance in the game where we actually liberally use the sword strike, simply because it's the safest way to attack him. We can't really safely use rolling attacks or rocket boosts on this guy without taking damage, so we're simply going to use the sword strike as much as possible. This is a pretty favourable attack pattern so far. I didn't want to take that hit there though. And that would be time. When the boss explodes, that is time for the end of the normal run. So you can consider that most of a Sparkster normal run, minus the other 2 normal stages of the game. And we get an actual game ending to play us out now. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm not sure if Distant Star Marathon has any extra content scheduled for this day. Chat! Yeah, there's a chat going on, isn't there? Kevin, did I ever figure out how many hits this guy takes? Yes, for normal sword strikes, it's 31, 32 hits. I've tried to optimize the damage order for that boss a little by making it so that I assume, okay, if I don't take any damage and I have a lot of health remaining, I can get X number of sword hits, and then I have enough health remaining to do the rest of the hits with rolling attacks. It's a little dangerous though, as you can imagine. That guy deals a lot of damage. If he uses the Flame Breath attack, that's really difficult to dodge at close range since you don't have much reaction time. And yeah, it's a boss that you don't want to take unnecessary risks on, especially in a normal run. A normal run of this game is really difficult. Most of the bosses are very hard, and then to risk getting a good run to trying to go a little faster on that boss, even I'm not at the point where I want to attempt that, and I have the world record for the category. So, thanks very much for watching, guys. I'm very sorry for missing that donation earlier. I'm sorry if I was missing the chat that was going on, but as you could hopefully see, this is a really intense game to play. So, I certainly recommend picking this up as a speed game. This is a super fun game to play. And if you can't afford a copy of this game, I mean, it's an expensive game to get a physical copy of now. If you want a US NTSC copy of this game on SNES, you're looking at running up like $80 or so. Japanese copies tend to be cheaper. The physical copy of this game I have is Japanese, and it was about $40. and I would certainly recommend making the investment if you want a awesome platforming speed game with a lot of movement tech and emphasis on optimization. This game is super fun to play. Even just casually, this game just feels very nice. The controls are extremely tight. It's really fun to play, and I'd recommend it to anyone. Basically, I'm asking for someone to give me some competition. I'm sick of setting good times in this game by myself, and I want someone to beat one of my times so that I can actually make a qualitative improvement. But thank you very much for joining in, guys, and I'm going to hand off again to, if the organizer is still around, I'm not sure if he is, but either way, this is, I believe, the end of day 2, so this has been Drakodan closing out day 2 of Distant Star Marathon, and I hope you all have an awesome day 3 tomorrow. So, signing out, and I hope you enjoyed the show. Please do follow me if you want to see more of this, or, as I say, pick up the game yourself. It's super fun. So, thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you all have an awesome night.